Welcome back, folks. Want to do a quick update video as some little bits of news. One big one in particular, Chris Jones actually hit after I'd finished my work for the week. And what I want to make sure is get you a little bit of information about what it means that Chris Jones showed up to camp. And it's an important piece for what the team's doing because he plays into their plans. They need his potential and his work for this season to actually work out the way that they want to. It is not a small thing that he happened to get into camp. So I think what it means overall is that today I'm out here. You guys might be at training camp. The team's at training camp getting ready to start. And they're all together, a full roster. And that really can't be undersold about just how important that is for the success that they're going to face. Now, what I think the bigger picture is for Chris Jones is that we heard all along about his workouts. We saw his workouts online on some of the social media, and I think that's great. But being in camp to do actual drill work with his teammates against live goes, that really can't be replaced. So at the end of the day, that's what they have to be focused on. And I was fully prepared for them just to miss him for maybe anywhere from a couple days to a few weeks. Originally, a couple of months ago, I thought this would get done really quickly, which didn't end up happening. I thought it would be done, the contract would be over with by the time they got to camp. Well, then we heard all these rumblings about the costs, about what the two sides were looking at in terms of compensation, and I think that melded some of what they wanted to do. Now, that said, the fact that he's here and in camp now tells you that that perspective has changed a bit. And I think that at the end of the day, winning's more important, and it seems like this development of him actually arriving at camp shows that it's more important to him as well. And I think the numbers will flow from there. In what they do post contract negotiation is going to be up to them. But right now, in trying to get to a number that works for both sides, I think that's really critical. And his development and devotion to developing is important. It'll show you exactly where he's going to go, what he wants to do, and the fact that being here now shows that he's more interested in winning now, contributing to what can be a Super Bowl roster as it stands right this second. And that's a really important thing for him because success breeds success, and he doesn't want to be left out in the cold or miss anything or even set himself back in terms of training, getting up to speed. So at the end of the day, I think what you're going to see is that this bodes well for not only his season, but getting something done with the team as well. And maybe that means that both sides are willing to move a little bit more than we thought maybe 2 weeks ago. I won't be surprised if that happens. There's a little bit more optimism from some of the reports, including Terez Paylor, about where they're at in terms of that financial number. Now, you can go back and forth. I think what the bottom line is going to be, the team wanted a bit shorter contract, a 4-year, I believe, and what Chris Jones people are looking for is around a 5, very similar to the Frank Clark numbers. But if you can get that year down, I think that it emboldens the team to go a little bit more towards the guarantee sum that looks like it's about even with Clark. And I think on a 4-year deal, that's perfectly fine. Guarantee that money is not the big concern. It's about longevity, I think, and it's about salary cap hit, especially when you're talking about being able to roll some of this year's salary cap that's open into next season. I think that will help out a lot too. If they can get something done here in the next few weeks, I feel like they will, and that will set them up so that they can keep his base salary contract this season down nice and low, and be in position to roll that cap over for next season, where they obviously have other fish to fry as well. And I think that's going to come in handy. Will it get done? I'm optimistic, but I don't know that it's going to happen. But this is a big step forward. At the end of the day, I'm a little bit surprised that he did come in on time, but I can't say that I'm shocked. Who wouldn't want to stay on a roster that's looking at not only a Super Bowl run this year, but multiple years of continued success, and somebody that they can really build that defensive front around? Man, you can say all you want about Frank Clark, but having somebody inside like that as well, it really goes a long way. And the two of them together, I think, is really optimal for what the Chiefs want to get done long term. So at the end of the day, I think the numbers are going to work themselves out. I'm a little bit more optimistic about a contract getting done now than I was couple weeks ago. The franchise tag will still sit out there. It's still a possibility, but it does kind of narrow your options. So let's see what develops. From everything that I saw on social media as I've been not at home in the studio, it looks like Jones is fired up. The conditioning drill went well. Said he passed that very well. So did Darrell Williams and Tyrann Mathieu. Everett was kind of tweeting out confirmation of the conditioning drill, which is kind of a yearly rite of passage. Glad that that's done and over with. And as they hit the field, look for him to bring his energy and really get into the mix with his new teammates, the new scheme. Let's see how it goes. I'll have more for you in a couple of days after we've seen some of those practices, but I just wanted to get the initial reaction for you out here today, even though this is definitely a different video than I usually do. I'll put this in the reports playlist just to kind of keep it from looking like it's a studio production. But if you guys like this kind of thing, please let me know, and I'll try to do some more of them as I'm out and about here this fall. So that's it. If you're new, hit the sub. Make sure you hit the notification so you know when something new goes up, as well as give me the thumbs up if you like this video and leave your comment below. How optimistic does this make you about Chris Jones and his future in Kansas City? And does it change anything for you? Let's go from there, and we'll talk about it as we get into the comment section. Enjoy training camp. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for checking this out, and I'll talk to you next time.